So, how does the narcissist feel when you finally leave them alone? It's an interesting one because when you're with the narcissist, or you've been with them for some time, you get the impression that your presence just annoys them, that everything you do annoys them. They're very short tempered, not very considerate. You get the impression that if you leave them, if you are no longer part of their life, that it wouldn't really impact them that much, that they might even be relieved and happy. But what actually happens when you do withdraw yourself from the narcissist, when you are no longer part of their life, and you finally leave them alone? So I'll get into that in a few moments, but I wanted to talk a little bit around that first. Narcissists love when they come across new people, and those new people have things going for themselves. Maybe they have a good job or any other activity where they place value on that thing. They come across people who place value on other people in their lives. Those targets, those prospective supplies, they dedicate their time and attention towards certain things of value. Narcissists like when they have somebody new. Over time, they want to be the new centerpiece of that person's life. They get really validated if they can slowly push the person away from all those things that matter to that person. Any interest, activities, career focus, family focus, friends. Narcissists like being more important than everything else in that person's life. And that's where they feel good about themselves. Just being the center of your world. While at the beginning, narcissists are sometimes passive aggressive. Like, oh, you spend your time only talking to your parents or playing tennis, or you work too many hours, you don't spend enough time with me. Or sometimes they'll make you feel bad about some of the activities you're involved with. These are just tactics to get you to focus your attention on the narcissist. And once you have your attention on the narcissist, and they are the center of your world, and they've secured you in that place, then your value quickly starts to fall because it's almost like, well, what else is there to be had? They've already got you. The most important thing in your world is the narcissist, and of course that, at the beginning, that hugely validates them and strokes their ego. But in a way, they already have themselves too. And if the most important thing that you have in your life is them, and they are them, all of a sudden you've become redundant. So your value drops very quickly. And then you become discardable, replaceable in their eyes. And because they know that even if they're not with you anymore, in your mind, they'll still be the centerpiece in your world, because you would have grown these strong attachments and dependencies towards them. They don't feel like you have much of a value to add anymore. So it's very easy for them at that point to go on and pursue new supply, because they feel good knowing that they've already conquered you and the essence of that which is you. But when they go, and of course, for some time you would struggle with that, because chances are you had high hopes of the relationship. You saw them as somebody valuable and important in your life. You cared for them. You wanted something to come out of that relationship. But over time, when you're able to let them go, and you no longer need them, you just You no longer chase them. You no longer try to talk to them. You energetically release yourself from their grip. Then all of a sudden they feel very uncomfortable. Now all of a sudden you've shifted into other things, other ideas, other activities. Now they want you back. They want you back because they want to be the centerpiece of your world again. And that's where they try to work themselves back in, because they can't really accept that they're not important to you anymore. Because if they're not important to you, they don't feel important in their own skin. And that's where they try to play all kind of mind games and to get your attention somehow focused on them. And oftentimes that means they have to hoover. But it's not always a hoover. They have the weirdest, most subtle, and not so subtle ways of trying to get your attention again, focused back on them. And even if they're not doing anything physically, sometimes you can sense their displeasure, their unease with your absence, and they start going into this kind of paranoid thinking where they start feeling unimportant, invalidated. They feel small. They feel replaceable, discardable. They feel the way they made you feel when they discarded you. So narcissists, they don't like when you move on. It could be the case that they don't want you, when things break apart and, you're only focused on them, you want the relationship to work out. It could be that the moment they discard you, they don't want anything to do with you. They're happy with you not being in their life. But if you were ever somebody of value to them, they really struggle to accept that you are able to move on, and that you're able to be okay in their absence. And that usually triggers a narcissist to play some kind of game to get you back. So just be aware of that, and just know that if they do make a reappearance, it's just because they want to become the center of your world again, just so they can then leave you again and go out and pursue other things. Thanks for watching.